Good morning, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be doing some surgery prep. I'm having surgery on Friday. Today is Tuesday. And I wanted to make myself some soups to eat throughout the rest of over the weekend. And then I'm going to meal prep for the rest of the week and make extra meals so that we have food to eat next week. It's just carpal tunnel and cubital tunnel release. I had this done on my left arm over the summer, and I'm having it done on the right arm. And so I'm a little nervous. I was able to function really well afterwards because it was my left arm. So I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna be able to do a whole lot because it's my right arm. I can't do a whole lot with my left arm. This arm is not as bad as this other arm was, but it's the same surgery, and I know how the surgery went afterwards, and it isn't bad at all. It's just my right arm's gonna be out of commission for about a week. That's what I'm kind of planning on. So I'm gonna try to get us through for a week with food at least, and then myself some nice soup that I like to eat. My family hates soup, and I love it so much, and so that's what I'm gonna make myself. I'm gonna do a chicken noodle soup, I'm gonna do a taco soup, and then I'm gonna do a vegetable soup. I'm gonna get that worked up today, and then while everything's cooking, I'll go ahead and clean the kitchen and start just checking stuff off the list. But thank you for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Rachel, and let's get to it today. I'm ready to get some stuff checked off the list. I'm honestly just ready for a rest, and I'll see you soon. Let's get to this.
The first thing I wanted to do to get my soups prepped for surgery is I wanted to brown some ground turkey and get some noodles boiling for my chicken noodle soup. So for the ground turkey, I'm going to put it in the vegetable soup, and I'm going to add some garlic powder and some onion powder. And I'm going to use about half of this for my soup and half of it for spaghetti. So I'm just going to let that cook up, and then I'm going to let the water boil in that small pot behind it. Once the meat got brown, I added in 2 cans of tomato soup. I had 2 cans in my pantry, so I added one that was like a tomato basil that you don't add water to, and then 1 Campbell's tomato soup, just because those are what I had in there. And then I added a package of frozen vegetables, and then I filled the pot up almost all the way with water, and I added in 3 beef bouillon cubes. I wasn't sure how I was going to do the chicken noodle soup because I had already cooked the chicken the day before, but I decided to get it all ready together. And so I poured the water and the noodles into a bigger pot and got them ready that way. I had cooked some chicken breasts up the couple days before I cooked this to make some barbecue chicken, and then I just took out 1 chicken breast, and I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of Knorr chicken bouillon, and this is what's going to make the broth. And so you can add or subtract water to make it more or less seasoned, or just however you like the taste of it. I added pepper and I added garlic and onion powder to this one also. For my chicken enchilada soup, I'm going to use 2 cans of chicken, and I just drain it and then I'll put it in here and heat it up. And while I'm heating it up, I just kind of smash it around so that it gets a little bit more shredded looking. Again, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of this Knorr chicken bouillon, and that is what's going to make the broth. And I'm going to season the meat with taco seasoning. And you guessed it, garlic and onion powder. I'm going to add probably a cup of frozen corn, and then I'm going to add a can of whole tomatoes. You can add crushed tomatoes. In fact, if I had crushed tomatoes, that's what I would have added. You could do 2 small cans or 1 big can. And then I add about 1/4 of a cup of enchilada sauce, and then 16 ounces of water. And, you know, all of this is just kind of, you can eyeball it. You want to fill up a pot, and how much ever water you put in is how much chicken bouillon you need to add. I'm also going to add what's left of this Velveeta, which is probably about 1/4 of a cup, just to give it a nice cheesy, creamy base. It's very important to taste these as you go, because you don't want them to be too salty. So the chicken bouillon has salt in it. Ooh, burn my tongue. So you need to taste it and see if you need to add more water, or kind of go low and slow with the chicken bouillon. Of course, I have to empty the dishwasher, because who else would I be if I didn't have to clean the kitchen 1,000 times a day? And if we're emptying the dishwasher, you know we're loading the dishwasher too. I had some errands to run this day, so I went ahead and got the meat out of the freezer that I needed to thaw. I had some chicken breasts, some chicken thighs, 2 packs of ground beef, and some packs of rotisserie chicken. And then I went and did my errands, and I stopped and got me some glass Tupperware to put my soups in so that they would store well in the fridge. And the kids got home from school right as I was washing these dishes, so I was having them put their Tupperware in the dishwasher to be washed. This is one reason why I would have used the crushed tomatoes or the diced tomatoes in this soup, is because I don't want big, huge chunks of tomatoes. And so I'm using some kitchen shears to cut these tomatoes into smaller pieces. And I realized that the Velveeta didn't melt, so I cut the stove back on and get the Velveeta nice and melted. At this point, the other soups have cooled and it is ready to go into these new containers. So I got about 4 servings of the vegetable soup and about 3 servings of the chicken noodle soup and 4 of the enchilada soup. So that's going to feed me for quite a while. I'm really excited, and they all tasted really yummy. One of the meals that I'm going to make when I am not able to cook very well on my own is enchiladas. So I cooked up 2 pans of enchiladas. We had one the night that I made it, and then the other I put into a big Tupperware and put it in the freezer. And so I made chicken enchiladas and ground beef enchiladas, and they both are just so delicious. Now I am using low carb tortillas, and that really keeps the carb and calorie count on these lower than if you used regular tortillas. And then the chicken that I used is just some rotisserie chicken that I prepped from Costco on our Costco run. So I just had packaged that into 2 Ziploc bags, and I thawed them out and I put them into the tortillas. You pour a little bit of your enchilada sauce into a pan, and then you put your tortilla in it, both sides, and that'll get it soft and it adds some flavor. You lay it in your pan and you add your chicken, and then you add some shredded cheese, and we like Colby Jack cheese. Then you roll them up and you put the seam side down, and then you're gonna pour the rest of the enchilada sauce on the top, and then you're going to cover that with shredded cheese, and that goes in the oven, and I put it on 400 for about 20 minutes. You just want the sauce to be nice and bubbly. And meanwhile, I'm cooking some ground beef. I'm cooking 2 pounds of ground beef, and it didn't thaw all the way, so I'm trying to get it to thaw, but it's in a big chunk in there. To the ground beef, I added taco seasoning, and that's what I'm going to make with the rest of the enchiladas. They're going to be ground beef enchiladas. We do those the exact same way. You're going to put your tortilla in the sauce, and you're going to do it on both sides. And then you're going to add the ground beef, and you add, I do it all at once. So I make like a bunch of tortillas up, and then I will go back and add the cheese, and then I roll them all up. So it's kind of like an assembly line. I had ran out of the ground beef mixture, but I did have a little bit of chicken left, so I used the chicken on the last enchilada. And I'm gonna bake all these up, and then when I store them, I'll just do in each container half chicken and half beef, so there'll be a good mix. Again, you're gonna just pour the rest of the enchilada sauce on top, cover with your Colby Jack cheese, bake it till it's bubbly and melted. It's so good. You gotta try it. I wanted to make up some spaghetti sauce, so I have the ground turkey from earlier, and I also cooked up some turkey sausage, and then once that was brown, I mixed it all together, and I'm going to add that to some spaghetti sauce so that the kids can pull that out of the freezer and they'll just need to make some noodles. My 17-year-old can do that easy peasy. I added, guess what, garlic powder and onion powder, and then some Italian seasoning, and mix that up and let that get incorporated. I used my food saver bags. I was so excited about this because I was like, I think I might have been out of gallon Ziplocs, and so I put half the mixture in each of these bags that I made up. I made them just kind of big enough, as big as I thought would need to hold a couple of cans of spaghetti sauce. And you seal the bottom, and then I cut it as long as I thought it should be. And then after I got the contents in there, I just did a seal. I didn't do a vacuum seal because I didn't want to suck all the sauce out of there. But this worked so good. I was very excited. Very, very satisfying to do this. And this is what it looked like. I think it's so cool, you know. And it'll be good. It'll kind of get nice and mixed in with it just sitting in there together. So then I needed to cook up some of this chicken. So this is some chicken breasts and some chicken thighs, and they had been thawing in this bowl. So I dumped the water out and cut the packets open, and then I just got the chicken cleaned up. So I got all the fat trimmed off of each of these, but Costco's chicken's pretty clean, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot less fatty than like Walmart or Aldi's chicken is. So I rinsed every piece off and I cut the fat off, and then I cut it into little like inch pieces and I cooked it up. My original thought was to make ACP with this, so like a Spanish dish with rice and cheese and like Spanish seasonings on it, but I didn't pre-make the rice. That's something that we can do that later on if we want. I don't think rice, I've never frozen rice. I don't want to speak and say it doesn't freeze well. I just never have done it, and I didn't want to take the time to make the rice if it didn't freeze well. But this worked good, and I really enjoy cutting chicken when it's a little bit frozen because it cuts so easily and you don't have to like move your knife a whole lot. It just kind of slices right through it. It did make it a little bit watery, but that water just cooked out after I added the seasoning to it. So this was good, and it cooked up really nice and it tasted good. To season this chicken up, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of the Knorr chicken bouillon, and I'm going to also add some taco seasoning. That would be about a pack worth of taco seasoning, and I'm just going to let this cook. The chicken thighs have enough fat in them that you don't really need to add oil to the pan, but if you feel like your chicken is sticking, because you know I did breasts and thighs, then go ahead and add oil. So I did it in the food saver too, and this is how the chicken came out. It looks so good. The kids are excited to eat this week, and yeah, I was excited about how that one turned out also. And here is how the enchiladas turned out. They were delicious. We've already ate one whole pan. The front pan we're going to put in the freezer, and then the back pan we ate all the leftovers. Here's my vegetable soup. Here's my chicken noodle soup. I had some of that today. It was good. And then my enchilada soup. I'm excited to try all of these and have them and just be cozy after my surgery. These are the Tupperwares that I got to put the enchiladas in, and really I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to store everything, so I got a pack of these big Tupperware at Ross, and this pan was so hot, but I'm putting half of the beef ones in a Tupperware, and then I'll put the other half in the other Tupperware, and the same with the chicken. We'll just split them up that way. And this is how the meal prep turned out. We have 2 packs of the chicken. I've got 2 packs of spaghetti sauce. I've got all of my soups ready to go. And then I've got 2 big pans of enchiladas. So I was excited to get this done. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.